What's up, family? It is Tuesdays with Tamoa. So, I don't know how everybody's been feeling. Yes, I have these colors in my hair. My stylist did it. I was like, okay, I kind of like this. It puts me in my little girl energy. Anyway, so just overall, I think sometimes we come to the end of the year, right? This is a new cycle that's happening, a new year. Something is beginning, something is ending and something is beginning. And I feel like just like in life, when you age, you think of all the things you've been through, you go to different levels with things. The same thing happens with the years. So this has been, I don't know about you, but this has been a heck of a year for me. Like it's been abundant in many ways. I've learned so much about myself. There always are new levels to get to, but I've been thinking a lot about the feeling of helplessness. We go through life situations, and it's not that I feel like we can operate in our lives, go to work, be a parent, be a partner, be a mom, dad, sister, brother, all of those things and be fine. But there's also pockets of situations in life or things that come up where you feel absolutely helpless. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to even talk to. It's literally that feeling of it's just you and you. It's you versus you working on figuring out whatever is going on. But the one thing that I have learned, and I am constantly learning, I'm constantly a student, I'm constantly wanting to develop better on a personal level, because if I can, or actually not if, while I'm getting that right, um, everything else is connected to that. So if I can get the personal side right, the inside of me internally have growth around that, then everything else connected to me is going to grow. It's going to materialize. My relationships are going to get better. How I operate in life is going to get better. So, the feeling of helplessness, I've learned that I have to shift my perception of this. And so, what that means is understanding that no matter what the situation is, that it is absolutely temporary. A lot of times, with our perception of things, the way we see things, the way we hold them in our heads, and we get so stuck, and we get anxious, and we over materialize things in our head. We create these stories that most of the time are not true to what is really reality and really what's showing up in our lives. But it feels so bad, and it feels so just like it's never going to end, that we make it permanent. Any situation or anything that we're going through is not permanent. So shifting that perception and saying, yes, I am 100% experiencing what I'm experiencing. I'm 100% going through what I am going through. But the fact of the matter is that the situation is not permanent, that it's temporary. And then that means if it's temporary, then maybe I can release the reins on myself a little bit and understand that things won't always be this way. How long do I sit in the misery of beating myself up, having these negative thoughts or perceptions, having these limited beliefs about how I can find a solution to the issue? Even in the throes of pain that you may be experiencing, there is always a way to find a solution to what you're going through. It does take work. Um, it does take practice, but remembering that your beliefs, your language, your thoughts produce your reality. Have you? you know, this is so funny because I used to think about this all the time, but have you ever had situations keep showing up in your life over and over and over again? So the thoughts that you have when you continue to say, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me, I cannot believe this is happening. Why is this showing up again? It's like the same thing that's repeating over and over and over and over again. But what I realize is my perspective on it is that I kept thinking that the things that were negative or bad were going to keep showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up again. So that belief system, those thoughts produced the same reality that I was seeing. So, in order to change that, I had to shift the way that I view things. I am definitely somebody that is I'm constantly growing into this and constantly wanting to master it, but it's not easy. Just like anything else in life, it absolutely takes practice to do. Um but at the end of the day, what else do you have to do? I think consciously we were really put on this earth to be creators, right? To love, to learn how to be in abundant relationships and have these beautiful experiences in life. And so, if that's the case, then what else do we have to do but to become better people on the inside so that we can create a more abundant life for ourselves? And in order to do that, we have to change our mindset. We have to change the thought of lack. We have to understand that everything that we're experiencing is temporary. And so, finding solutions faster to the things that we are going through will allow us to move faster into becoming a better person, into healing, having more gratitude. I speak about this all the time, having more gratitude. When I am in a space of negativity or where I'm not having the best thoughts about whatever is going on in my world, I attempt to immediately switch to the gratitude because having that in place helps you to move faster, understanding that there is something that you can be grateful for. It helps me to get unstuck a lot faster. So when I'm in that helplessness state or feeling helpless, like nobody understands, there's not anybody here to help me, what am I going to do? I'm all alone. And all of these thoughts and negative thoughts that surround the situation, understanding that it's temporary, understanding that you are abundant, that this is a limiting mindset, that the mindset can shift by just having a heart of gratitude and understanding that this situation that you're in is temporary. It will change. But the other side of that is, how do I not have this same situation keep showing up in my life? So, practicing gratitude, practicing awareness, practicing forgiveness of yourself, having grace for yourself, understanding that this situation is not always going to be there and that I have to loosen the reins on myself to find a solution, to not stay stuck, to get through the mud a lot faster so that I can have a more abundant mindset. Um, just knowing that you can live in a different type of consciousness, a different type of thought, a different type of awareness. It's not just one thing. It's not just your relationships. It's not just how you show up in other places. This truly happens with the way that we feel about our finances and our financial abundance and what we want out of life and the dreams that we have for ourselves and all the money that we want to get and all the things we want to do for our family. Yes, we all have those same thoughts, but the awareness, honestly, is not about the money. So I talked about this before on our last live, but that abundance that you want, that different thought that you want to create, it's really inside of you, because the money that you want is tied to how you feel about yourself. It is tied to even whether you think that you are abundant enough to have the capacity to hold what it is that you want. Because if you don't think, really, okay, you want $1 million, but do you think that you're worthy of receiving $1 million? I do not believe that people go deep enough into the things that they want to understand if they even have the capacity internally to hold it. Because if we don't start healing through that and understanding who we are and loving ourselves more and know that we're worthy, then all of those things, those dreams, those visions, those things that we want are going to slip through our fingers, because when we get there, we'll have that imposter syndrome where it's right there in front of us. It's right there for us to hold, but we don't think that we can grab it because we don't think that we're worthy enough. So if you look at it, all of these things tie in. The helplessness, right, that we may feel is linked to how we feel about ourselves, our self-worth, our thoughts of lack, not having these negative thoughts, these limiting self-beliefs about you can't, you got yourself in this situation again, and just all of those negative thoughts that you may repeat to yourself. You're not good enough, you're all alone, all those things, right? That is tied, right, to your self-worth, how you feel about yourself. That spirit of lack is tied to your self-worth, you don't have enough, and all of those things. And your money abundance, right? Not even if you take it to your money abundance. Okay, that's fine. It also has to do with your relationships too, and how you see yourself. All of those things are tied to internally how you really feel about yourself, the things that you're creating. It all is the same thing. And so, this is something huge that I talk to my clients about in financial therapy, because all of the stories that we tell ourselves with how we grew up, the things that we experienced, the lack of money, the lack of all the things we want to attract, it truly has to do with how we feel about ourselves. If we can just start by shifting our thoughts and reframing these stories that we tell ourselves, we can create a whole nother life for ourselves, like a whole nother world for ourselves. If you continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same thing. We cannot get something different if we don't change who we are inside, or we're going to keep repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. And let me say this, it's not about beating up on your old self. You want to become your higher self. You want to keep developing. You want to keep growing. But you don't beat up. You don't beat up on the person that you're growing out of, so to speak. You have to still love on that person. You cannot really truly understand, accept, and want to be that higher self, that abundant person, without actually loving the person that got you there. So all the cells that you have to internally match, internally, you know, be in a creative state of love for you to become that abundant person. So as you're healing and as you're growing, accept all of those parts of yourselves. The ones that you used to beat up on, the ones you used to say that negative thing about, that is still a part of you and who you are, because that person got you to where you want to be or need to be or will be in the future. I really wanted to get on to just encourage people in these times and all the things that are going on, because I do believe that people are dealing with some heavy, heavy, heavy things. Is that the helplessness doesn't have to stay there. It absolutely doesn't. That there is always a solution, and that it's only a temporary situation, even when it feels like the worst thing ever, it is still always temporary. Oh, thank you so much. That was so sweet. Let's see. Oh, here we go with my vision again. Haha, lie to myself, laugh at myself, excuse me. I don't lie to myself, laughing at myself. Hella sure, thank you so much. It says, if no one told you yet, you're wonderful, bright, beautiful, and hopefully the rest of your day goes amazingly. Thank you. That is so sweet. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just beautiful vibes, right? Like beautiful people. We should always be so gracious and kind to each other. It will go so much further in life. Anyway, so I really want to send everybody a lot of light and love, because I do know that there is so much going on in people's lives, and just know that you aren't alone, and that you're not helpless, and that you don't have to lack for anything, and that you can manifest the abundance that you want. But remember, it is a constant practice, and it starts with really healing the inside of who you are. I always tell people to seek therapy, seek counseling, um, seek a life coach, somebody that can really help you to navigate a lot of the things that you have going on. It's important. It's important to be able to get all the things out. You shouldn't have to just always internally take everything and not be able to release it, because that is also how you heal. If you would like to, I don't usually advertise like this, but hey, this is my channel, so hey, I might as well. But if you'd like to book a credit consultation, or you would like to book a financial therapy session consultation, because I do have consultations before my financial therapy, so that you can understand what it is that you really want, and making sure that it is a good fit for you to work with me. I do have my link that is in the description, for you can go to my website and you can book a consultation. It's Renew You Consulting. But I think that this year, let's let go of feeling helpless, right? We're almost done. 2024 is almost a wrap, and we're going into 2025. Let's go into 2025 loving ourselves, knowing that we're worthy of all the things that we want, and still have gratitude for all the things that we have, and let go of this helplessness. You got to let go of it, because you're not helpless. You are more than abundant. You are valuable, you are worthy, and you are your greatest asset. Take care. Have a great night.